Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for Apple TV Plus's original series, limited series, Hijack. Have you heard of this? Are you looking forward to it? Let's jump in. A plane from Dubai to London is hijacked over a 7-hour flight, while authorities on the ground scramble for answers. So Idris Elba plays Sam Nelson, a guy on the wrong plane, it would seem. This series is a limited series. There are 7 episodes, and at the end of each episode, it's going to leave you wanting to watch the next one. Each ending is like a huge sort of cliffhanger. You kind of don't know how they're going to survive this hour. If you remember the Netflix series Into the Night, there's a similar intensity on board this plane, not in the realm of fantasy, but this is a hijacking. It's very visceral and in your throat. It's not an action series though. It's a tense thriller thinking game. It's getting to know the passengers in the plane with each episode and holding your breath as some of those passengers make the ridiculous decisions to try and thwart the hijackers or outthink them. It's a cat and mouse in the sky. And then on the ground, as people start to figure it out, it's them trying to help the plane and people involved. There's a number of actors in this that I think are fantastic. One particular I wanted to mention, Eva Miles. I've loved her acting since Torchwood.
Right, sorry, just to recap, you've travelled here to feed off orgasmic energy.
I think she's a fantastic actress. She plays Alice Sinclair, a mother who is an air traffic controller, and she is basically tasked with looking after this plane, along with all the other agencies that will be tasked with looking after this plane and what's going on. I would say it's hard to tell who the good guys are in this series. It keeps you guessing. There's a lot of mysteries that are unfolded here. So as each episode starts getting to the point where you're like, maybe they should just move the story on, they reveal something else of the story, and then it has you intrigued again. Then that ending hits and you're like, oh, flipping heck, I have no idea where this is going. For me though, I do love the fact that it's a limited series, it's a one and done, and as a one-time watch, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think each episode makes you want to watch that next one. I think the acting and the quality of what people are going through, the way it's filmed, the way it's edited, it makes you tense, like you're there with them going through this terrible, horrific situation. The outcome led me, I think it was a bit of an anticlimax for me. That's not to say there isn't a good ending, and I think it's fairly well done. It's a little bit open-ended for my liking. I guess they're making it as real as possible, which is fine. I just would have liked some more answers to some of the things that happened. And I think I would have liked it to have been more clever than what it is. Again, this goes back into the storytelling of this is what it's actually for, and this is probably more real. So I think I wanted it to be clever because I felt like during the plane episodes, when we were still in the unknown territory, I didn't know what was going on. And when they revealed certain mysteries that I didn't see coming up, it was surprised. It feels like it's very intelligent. So when I discovered what was the reason that this was all happening, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But the ride itself is fantastic. Idris does a great job. He's not playing the action man, but he is playing that tense, intelligent man. He is the guy at the center of this. As you'll discover, it's to do with his job. He's not like a military action man, but what the skills he brings is something that he could potentially help with. But these are hijackers and they have their own reasons for being there. You don't get a lot of background story for anybody except Idris's family because they are kind of integral to the story and linking to the wider arc of what is going on. And I think for some people that might be an issue because then you have nothing really to root for the people. The thing is, you do get to know them a little bit just by how they react to the circumstances that they find themselves in. So even though you're not getting flashback sequences, you're not getting those stories of who these characters are, we are getting to know them with each episode. Just on the plane, the sequences of events that we find ourselves in. You're wondering who's going to survive. It's very tense. I think had I not seen the ending, how it came out in the end, I probably would have stuck to a 4, maybe a 4.5. Because of how it ends, I'm going to give it 3.75 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
I thought it was a very entertaining, very tense, bingeable series. And here is the crux of the matter why I'm sticking to my 3.75 Nicolas Cages out of 5. It's because it doesn't come out bingeable. Now, had I had to wait to find out week on week, I think this would be a very frustrating watch, because I know they dropped the first 2 episodes and then it's week on week until we hit that 7th episode. I think this could work in like 2 batches, maybe 3 and 3, or 3 and 4, 3 and you know, finishing. And it just feels like it needs to be watched with a chunk at time so you can get some of those answers. Otherwise, you're going to be left feeling quite frustrated. So when you've watched those first 2 episodes, maybe you can watch or wait. That would be my top tip. Other than that, if you don't mind watching week on week and it's a thing that you do and it never has really bothered, then you'll be totally fine. But let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite Idris Elba project that he's been in ever? I really liked him in The Gunslinger, even though that wasn't exactly like what the books were. I would love to see the TV series that we were meant to be getting so long ago. I don't know if that will ever come into fruition. That's been on the belt for ages. But there are a number of Idris Elba projects that I think people love, from Luther to some of the Netflix projects he's been involved with. So love to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know once you've watched the series or a couple of the episodes what you thought. Are you excited about this? Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, we have a cornucopia of new content out this week. The Witcher Season 3, Jack Ryan's Final Helping Season 4 from Amazon, Nimona, a new animated series. There's so much good content coming out this week. You can at least check out a couple of my reviews to see something that you really want to kind of put on the front burner of your list. Again, thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.